We're now going to do calculations with numbers that are in standard form, but this time we're going to use our calculator. It's important to note at this stage that when you're typing a number in standard form into your calculator, you use this little button down here, and that's your multiplied by 10 to the power of x button. It's also called your exponent button. So if we take a look at part A, we're going to type the entire calculation into your calculator. However, we use the exponent button when we're typing in 10 to a particular power. So let's look at part A. So I'm going to copy it into my calculator, open brackets, 2.5. Now, the multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4, you now hit your exponent button, so you've got your multiplied by 10. Then just type in minus 4 and then close your bracket. And then we're multiplying that by, and then open brackets, 8. And then again, the multiplied by 10 to the power of 5, we use the exponent button for that. So hit your exponent button, so you get your multiply by 10, and then just type in 5, and then close your bracket. Then hit equals, and that's going to give us 200. Now, the answer is 200, but we want to give it in standard form. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert a decimal point to make it a number between 1 and 10. So the number between 1 and 10 is just going to be 2. And then that's being multiplied by 10 to a particular power. To get the power of 10, remember, you move the inserted decimal point to the original one. So we have to move the inserted decimal point 2 places to the right. So that means the power of 10 is just positive 2, or 2. And that's our answer. So the good news is the calculator does most of the work. However, sometimes you might get an answer that isn't in standard form. You then need to go ahead and put it in standard form. Let's look at part B. So part B, we're going to type the calculation into our calculator. So again, open brackets, 2.1, and then the multiplied by 10 to the power 9, we use the exponent button. They've now got multiplied by 10, and then just put a little 9 in after the 10, so that's telling you what the power of it is. Close your bracket, then divide by, open brackets, 8, hit your exponent button, so you've got your multiply by 10, and then just hit 4 to make the power 4. Close your bracket, hit equals, and you're going to get 26250. Now again, the number, the answer isn't in standard form, so we're going to have to insert a decimal point to make it a number between 1 and 10. So the number between 1 and 10 is 2.625. And then we multiply by 10 to a particular power. Now, to get the power, remember, you have to move from the inserted decimal point back to the original one, which was after the 0. So you're going to have to move 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the right. So the power of 10 would be positive 4. Okay, and again, that's our answer in standard form. Okay, part C. So part C, we're going to type it all into our calculator again. So we've got 2.72, and then hit your exponent button, so you get your multiply by 10, then just hit minus 4 to bring up the power, and then close your bracket, and then we need to make this outer power 2. So you need to hit your x squared button, and then that makes the outer power 2. Then hit equals. And you see this time the calculator actually is able to give you the answer in standard form. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. In this case it does. So our final answer there is just 7.3984 multiplied by 10 to the power of -8. Okay. Now, part D. So part D again, we're going to just type it in as we see it. So we've got 228, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros after it. And then we're dividing by 1.14. Now we have to hit our exponent button, so hit your exponent button times 10, and then just put 5 immediately after it. That's telling you what the power of the 10 is. And then we just hit equals, and that's going to give us 2000. But again, it's not in standard form, so we've got to put our answer in standard form, so you have to insert a decimal point to make it a number between 1 and 10. So the number between 1 and 10 is just going to be 2. And then we're multiplying that by 10 to a particular power. So to get the power of 10, we have to move from the inserted decimal point to the original one. So we're going to have to move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So that means the power of 10 is going to be +3, or just 3. And that's our answer. So that's how we use our calculator to do calculations involving numbers in standard form. When we type it into the calculator, remember to use your exponent button. That allows you to type in times 10 to a particular power and then type in the power immediately after it. And then sometimes it will give the answer in standard form, which is great. Sometimes it won't give the answer in standard form, so you then have to turn it into standard form.